The message came in at 12:47 a.m. Don't wait up, babe. Crashing at Claire's. Too much wine, haha. Love you. I stared at the screen until the little red heart blurred. Not from sleepiness, I wasn't tired. It was the knot in my stomach, twisting tighter the longer I looked. That tone. Too breezy, too casual, too polished. Claire's place was a good 20 minutes from the hotel where Emma's company was hosting their annual party. I'd driven her there myself earlier, kissed her cheek, told her to enjoy herself. She wore the blue dress I bought for our anniversary, the one she said made her feel like lightning. Now, that same storm was churning in my chest. 8 years of marriage. Emma was more than my wife. She'd been my best friend. At least that's what I used to tell people when they asked how we made it work. She was warm, ambitious, and had this rare kind of humor that made you feel seen. But lately, something had shifted. Quietly, subtly, like a door slowly closing. She started working late. Quarter end, she'd say. Or, you know how Mark is, the guy's a nightmare. She'd laugh, brush my arm, and promise it was nothing. But her phone became a second heartbeat, buzzing constantly, lighting up her face in ways I didn't recognize. When I'd ask, she'd smile softly. Don't be paranoid, Luke. You're better than that. And I believed her. Until that text, I tried to sleep. Honestly, I did. But by 1:20 a.m., I was sitting in the dark, phone in hand, staring at her last location on Find My Phone. It was off. Emma never turned it off. My pulse started to hammer. By 2:10, I'd grabbed a jacket and was in the car, convincing myself I was being ridiculous, that trust was the spine of any marriage, and I wasn't going to break ours over a gut feeling. But even as I said it aloud, it sounded hollow. The hotel parking lot was nearly empty when I pulled up. A few cars left, lights from the lobby flickering weakly. The company's banner still hung by the doors. Caldwell Finance, Building Futures. I parked across the street and waited. At 2:43 a.m., the side door opened. Laughter spilled out, carefree, muffled by the cold air. 2 men, 1 woman, Emma. She wasn't drunk. She wasn't stumbling. She looked happy. That kind of happiness people only wear when they think no one's watching. Mark Caldwell, her boss, walked beside her. His hand brushed the small of her back. She didn't move away. I gripped the steering wheel until my fingers went numb. They stopped beside his car. He said something that made her laugh. Soft. Familiar. Then he leaned in and kissed her. Not an accident. Not a mistake. She didn't pull away. When she finally did, it wasn't from guilt. It was with reluctance. Like leaving something she wanted to stay in. They drove off together. I don't remember how long I sat there afterward. Engine off. Headlights dark. Just the quiet hum of betrayal echoing through the night. Before 4 a.m., I drove home. Her side of the bed was cold when I lay down. I stared at the ceiling until dawn blurred the room in a dull gray wash. At 6:32 a.m., the front door opened. "Hey," she called softly, like testing the air. "You're up early." I didn't move. She walked in, hair tied back, wearing that oversized sweater she knew I loved. "Claire's couch is murder," she sighed, setting her purse down. "How'd you sleep?" I turned my head slowly. "Did you?" She froze. "Did I what?" "Sleep well at Claire's?" Something flickered across her eyes. Too quick. Too controlled. "Not really." "Too much wine," she murmured with a weak laugh. "Why?" "Because," I said, sitting up, "you weren't at Claire's." Her color drained. "You turned your location off," I added quietly. "You've never done that before." Her eyes widened. "You tracked me?" "Don't," I said. "Don't twist this." She took a step back. "Luke, it's not what you think." "Then tell me what it is." Her hands trembled slightly. "It's complicated." "It's simple," I said. "You lied." Tears welled, shimmering at the edges. I couldn't tell if they were real or just part of the performance. The same tenderness that once made me fall for her. "I didn't plan it," she whispered. "It just happened. Mark and we've been close, but last night..." I laughed. It came out dry, bitter. "You don't accidentally kiss your boss at 2 a.m, Emma." She flinched. "I know, I'm sorry." Sorry doesn't fix this." She looked up desperate. "Please, Luke, I love you. I made a mistake." I stared at her, the words empty now. "Do you even know what love is?" Because love doesn't hide behind emojis and borrowed lies. For a moment, the room fell silent. Only her soft sobs breaking it. Then something inside me shifted. The anger cooled, hardened into something sharper. Get dressed, I said. What? We're going to breakfast. She blinked, confused. Now? Now, we sat in her favorite cafe down the street. She stared into her cup, unable to meet my eyes. Why are we here? She whispered. Because I want you to remember this, I said. Every word, every look, every second. Her eyes lifted, red and searching. Luke, I leaned forward. You're going to tell me the truth? All of it, not the softened version. Not what you think I want to hear. Her lips trembled. Then the flood came. She told me everything. How it began with harmless jokes after meetings, how late nights turned into drinks, how he made her feel seen again, how she convinced herself it wasn't an affair until last night. Every word was a knife. When she finished, I nodded once. Okay, I said quietly. Now it's my turn. She thought the worst was over. She didn't know I'd called Claire that morning. Claire, who said Emma hadn't been over in weeks. Who'd sent screenshots of their messages from last night? Proof of another lie. She didn't know that before breakfast. I'd emailed every message, every photo, every piece of evidence to her work account, CC'd to HR and to Mark Caldwell's wife. It wasn't revenge. Not exactly. It was truth, delivered the only way she'd believe it. At 9:17 a.m., her phone buzzed. She looked at the screen, but her face went white. Luke, what did you do? I made sure, I said softly. You'd never forget. Her hands shook. You ruined my life. No, I said, standing. You ruined ours. I left her there, surrounded by coffee, tears, and the wreckage she built. That night, I sat alone in the house we made together. Her things still scattered everywhere. The half-read book, the chipped blue mug, her scent still hanging in the air. It should have felt like victory. But it didn't, because betrayal doesn't end with revenge. It ends with silence, with the hollow where love used to live. I unlocked my phone and looked at our wedding photo. Her smile wide, my arm around her waist, both of us believing forever meant something unbreakable. Maybe it once did. Maybe it never did. The clock ticked quietly. 11:58 p.m. The day she destroyed everything, and the morning I made sure she knew it were nearly over. But the ache was just beginning.